Ross Strader, Todd Wright. Hey, Todd, how long has it been since you and I have been on camera together?
Oh, my goodness. I don't know.
Is this going to be on the Instagram and all that stuff?
Yeah. How long has it been?
I don't know. We used to, I'll bet if somebody was proficient at a YouTube search, they could find some old stuff that we did a long time ago. Which brings me to how many days have you been here at Bethel Bible Church?
Well, musicians aren't very good at math, but
let's count it like a four-time, whatever.
That's right. In 2023, I've been here 15 years. This is my kind of 15th year. In September, that's my anniversary.
At the beginning of this year, so really kind of the beginning of your 15th year, your job here, so you came on, you've been the worship pastor here at the South Campus, and you have, as we've launched campuses, helped us launch worship teams at the other campuses. But at the beginning of this year, your job, your role, took on some new dimensions here at Bethel. So tell us about this new role.
Yeah, so at the end of last year, we started talking about how I can help the church and do more for other campuses. And so in January, I became the pastor of worship and communication for all 5 of the Bethel campuses.
Okay. If you were going to talk about the worship piece, how does that expand kind of what you're doing or multiply what you're doing?
The best part about the job is it's an encouragement role. So we have all these great worship leaders at all our campuses. Some of them are just volunteer, some of them are part-time, some of them have lots of worship leaders that rotate. And I've been tasked with really encouraging them, getting them resources, helping lead for them when they're maybe sick or need a vacation, but really trying to be around the campuses more to just help out, to be an encouragement. Being a worship leader can be pretty lonely. Sundays are really busy, and so sometimes you get done leading worship and you drive home and you haven't heard anything, good or bad, and you think, oh, did that matter? Did I do good? Did I do bad? And so having someone who's charged with being an encourager, we're watching worship, listening to worship, helping pick songs. So that's sort of the role for the worship thing that I'm doing this year, is trying to really come alongside them and just be a constant source of encouragement to them.
Yeah. Communication, what is that and what does that look like?
We have 5 campuses that are all very unique and very tuned into their people. And so the communication role is basically just how do we help those campuses promote events, celebrate stories, talk about what God's doing. And so to help those campuses, and every campus is a little bit in its own state. So you have some campuses that have a lot of volunteers who are helping that and posting on social media or helping make artwork, but we have some campuses that aren't. And so the communication role is in much the same way, saying, what do you need? How can we help? Where are the gaps where you feel like maybe people are not finding out on how to sign up for things or what's going on at the church? Again, that role to come in and say, just, hey, tell me what I can do to help out with that. And so that's sort of the focus for the communication piece.
Yeah, that's great.
In addition to that, what we want to do is now add a piece which is much more content creation. So like what we're doing now, we've actually got ideas for some podcasts this year, some video series. And in fact, one thing I want to try to do is where we start seeing more content from each of the campuses.
Yeah.
Where we sit down with somebody like a Clint Wright or Ricky Garner, and we have them talk about things that they're passionate about, and then we share that with everyone.
Yeah.
To have much more content coming through. Because listen, we've got great teachers, we've got great people. We want to share that with the community at large.
What are the things you're most excited about? What can we look forward to? And
yeah, so one thing I have become convinced over the past few weeks is I think every Bethel member ought to be going to other campuses occasionally.
Yeah.
I think it's something so encouraging to one another and to ourselves. And so I want to turn up the volume on that. Like I want to be talking about service locations and times and where do you park. That stuff seems very simple.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't know. How do I get to the Henderson campus? What time do they do things? So there's that piece of getting that out there. But even bigger than that is just, like you said, even in these 6 to 7 weeks, starting to see these stories or hear campus pastors talk about a volunteer who's man, families just come alive in the past year of what they've been doing. We're seeing what God's doing. To tell those stories, to find ways to tell those stories in a consistent way. I would love for at the end of this year for people to have been flooded with videos and podcasts and stories. We do that occasionally. I think it's time to be really committed to that, to tell the Bethel story in as many places and ways as we can.
You are famous for, if somebody shoots you a text or they email you and say, Todd, take me to lunch.
Yes.
Is the deal still on the table?
Still open.
Anybody emails you, says, Todd, take me to lunch, you take them to lunch. Is that right?
Absolutely. And quickly.
Yeah,
Don't email me if you want to do it in 3 months.
Right.
We're going tomorrow.
You can go families, you can go one-on-one, however you want to do it.
And listen, we're getting queso, we're getting dessert, we're doing the whole thing. I got this church credit card. We're going to get wild. We're going to have fun.
Awesome. Well, I can't wait. Let's update this in about 6 months because in the meantime, you're going to be telling the stories, but I'd love to circle back. Let's talk about, man, what's happened, how have things changed, and another, sort of invite to the congregation to step into this. Let's tell the story. Let's take some pictures. Let's connect as campuses across Tyler.
I'm excited.
Yeah, good.